Oh, but life is full of gales. Can't you comprehend? These lavishly thrilling scents were a wildflower's chime, the most harshest of tales, dreading the demise. I took out of my brood the heritage I planned to enrich, to spice the old, stale mind food with ideas of every youth, reachable for what they dread. Their fear covers the truth like clouds above hell, to make them forget that withstood and outstood is the beauty's sole end. What tyrant plucks beauty from off our mouths? The stalk that stood feeding it never did bow, yet the chide did fell to the ground. Dark night left naught but weed, headless to twist on the wind, and sapless to denote their withering breed, burrowing in night's ghastly gown. But there's light amid, wherefore the escapes then can. Did the madman pin the stars on the tongue of mountain's mouth to forbid the light to come down into the eyes of a tongueless crow, as now thus you crave and shout for me to come and plough? Seamless is this fatigue of yours to shed tears of sand and stone. No, beauty isn't privilege. 'Tis born and slain much too often, and deposits no truth but that of to be trodden, and sways no art to translate its way to wind, to hold it, to stop it. My friend, bellflowers are born sullen, and each tale of their beauty have they some, only depicts the mask of Melpomene, and north of the prance and song. Let me the ageless wheel and trot to change your diet and beg of the blasted to seep and brush your soil. Don't fret over the dying of your son, how you once called your smile. Didn't you know? Stalks aren't made to stop the bell from breaking and failing. They bear your wan beauty, they carry your cross. Be tongue-tied, sharp and foul. Touches and causes, wherefore do you call them to your address? They fail to withstand time's test. For naught stands out there beyond thine grasping claws but beauty which firmly holds strains of reality. Your atoms shatter off. My main regret is that thine brush knows not of colors in your face but paints it black. Those hands most cheerful and jocund that fail to translate thine own essence. Having it all, you strive vigorously to your own bleak end, denying most loudly that which holds your own life and directs thine hand to rule thine own existence. I am a bellflower, no matter the mound. For me there's only mine intent to outshine stars and guide my hands. And what of yours, O Phenometros, you who are so childishly full and whole, fed to the brim by soil, water, and wind? What guides thine starless hands? O miserabilis et sickenus, mistake me not, no rusted point stems from me to pierce your lake of Haughty. Thine twisted smile to fortune's chain still haunts me, as you are above me and sway and mourn on wind, same by which you scorn me. No ill deed have I brought thee, nor have I wished at any length of this illness with whom you taunt me. My sweet child ye, lord of my life, whom I've nourished and seen rising up through and blossoming into, most beauteous, more in thine hearth, you can still see north. I am thine forebear, stuck in the midst of time. My leaves echo more soundly with every fall of your petal, and I do my warm welcome. You are many of you. I am one of you. You are one of many, I am many of you. Mistake no uniqueness to your faith. Many as know have brushed my face, yet no stalk of thine kin have I seen, no beauty lasted, no nothing, never. I am the truth under your lie, pompous yet ephemeral beauty, always returns borrowed hue, cycle of death and rebirth robs you of value. True, my haughtiness stretches far beyond my cue, beyond the beauty I devise and sit like on pew, and revises errors that bodily I create anew, and thus guides the shadow of my arrow. The arrow strikes at the midst, at the wane of eternity, and this beauty guides many, many are I. I do hold my caste as my throne, yet too ephemeral are my bones, and this truth in me transcends. It pours down, yet seeps into my soul. I acclaim what I am not, but claim myself for all. And I am right in this dark hole, for what it is to be, if not what we can't. The light only shines as bright as much the fuel in it we pump. And even though we serve, we're not thrown. We hold our own strength, even though it is borrowed, and stay on the path that ourselves create. Only path we know. But this is all is not of my trouble. I am afraid that we share the concern, yet that you passed as my double and took the wrong turn. And yet you speak of value. Yet the little heavy sum decays analyzed and fades into your own mind. Thine mind escapes to forget the soil upon which you stand is made of us, crumbled and humbled, and all that upon it fell falls into this decayed state, where the sum of years nourishes what will ultimately fail. When I reach to see the colors of your downcast head and dried up hands, I know the aura with whom you're swayed, will change in shape, face, and stage. When I observe this aura inside all that grows, when I derive its shards out of my pure self, and observe this universe inside the drop above, yourself, I know, none of this is built to last. My friend, who are we but the whims of self? Where do we grow, towards which sun? And are we prone to ground with this fleeting gift, the gift of calling yourself self, when everything's not? Be it as you wish. We, as doubles, bifurcated by direction in endeavor to elude troubles, juxtaposing us together. But one thing you cannot sever, my blood will not dilute, nor allow this sea of shapes to fall irresolute. And so what do you expect to fish out? Could I have been married your eyes married? I guess it takes a web of water and implacable effort yourself to unravel and only yourself to carry. We are more than these fields could bury, more than dew you construe and selfishly tarry. Same I crave, the same I fend off, 'cause its fall is of your vanity. Same I abhor and do not condone. Your power is of those who are buried. It is foretold on this universe's stage, and very old. It closes itself, yet expecting of you to show it. Beyond its border, what does it whisper? What do you know? Shadows of myself cannot withstand load of my strength. Silent and mute, abominably transformed, they do not reflect me. They have never tasted the depth that I try to mimic with words. There is a dimension to you that you have forgot. It is sad that you should lay flat and prophesize that upon which you tread. Even though with the depths may melt and be gone, and be my life as it may, bearing me down in it, how can I loathe all, accept it? Wish myself be destined to reflect its faith, to miserably vanish. The spirit permeates, it outlasts, it wavers, but is not lost. Don't you speak with borrowed words? What is truly yours when you were instilled? What is really known when words have flown? We must be sworn into transience, and by giving soul which was given our pertinence. Transience to where? Can you trace your words? Peer into deep dark depth wherein they grow. Dusk of mind conveys there only the first ray of light. Should you still be pertinent if after all it was coincidence, without the architect to lay his hand, just a play of elements? We are but things with consciousness. Our leaves and stalks, our roots, differ not from a stone, a drop, minerals and dust. We are things left to struggle and fight, to endure time, but bestowed with a lie, that our good differs, that we matter. It is the fear and force that binds us, the reason why we grow so close in binds. We construed beauty, terrible beauty ever so. A tiredness lays over me, my friend, and I'm afraid I cannot follow. I feel no need to follow this path of no hope. No ways of yours will I change, and as for you, I am too old. My ears plead silence, yet the ebb cannot break through if it were not deaf. The world is much obtuse to comprehend then, and every cycle is a passage of time. Yet it feels to us so same, so hollow, unscathed, Kalmaru will be here, you above me, myself laying below at thine base gnarly. You put on a show for show's sake, and I begrudgingly do welcome your sad tale. But the passing never ends, and the world grows tired of us. Our comeuppance will be ever so slight, that it would seem our dialogue will be heard throughout this glade, but echoless it will never cease to fade. Ghastly, it will pass through the years, same, flower bed, the worm that wrought the apple, tree too. If I have begged you to leave the mark, imprint evidence that we existed, occupy the space and time, then sorry I am, for I was wrong too. We differed, thus this story was spun, even though it was just a reflection of an endless dynamic that was our own creation. Oh, there is no unpalatable distinction counting us. Our shades all come under one sun. Our pietist shepherd, were they not begot from bones that clutched? And this cycle, as you said, it is just a passage, the end of it towards which we do not gravitate, but radiate and from, and thus transcend. Our transience has no end, but only the beginning. And in this narrative we're forever, and not outlasted, nor wilting. There is a kernel, of which is all sure, nourished by itself, once open, pushing its nectar outward, only to stream it back to itself. It's true. Yet for all it gives, a distance there is.